Before I forget, let's save this file. So I've saved it before, so now I just named it 1. Okay, so this is a .unity file as a scene file. So that's our scene. The next thing I want to talk about is the asset store. Now, Unity has a built-in marketplace for developers to exchange what they've created. And some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for. And what I want to do now is to find a interesting texture or material that we can use for our scene. So we can see different categories in the asset store. So once again, you go to Window and Asset Store, and then this is where you'll see the asset store. So we click on Textures and Materials, and let's find something that looks kind of interesting. Let's try this one. Okay, so you can preview the asset. And since this one is free, we can simply download it. Okay, now it will have this pop-up window that says importing package. You can review what's going to be imported into your project. So this is similar to when you drag a file into your project, when we drag those images into the project. So this is a similar kind of process, except this is a file that's downloaded from the asset store. So hit import, and now Unity is importing the assets. Give it a couple minutes. Shouldn't take that long. Okay, so it's finished. Let's close the asset store. So you can see that here we have a new folder, and this is the one with the new assets. Okay, and there are a lot of different textures we can use here. Let's pick one that's kind of interesting. Okay, let's just use crate number 4 for one of the cubes. As you can see now, this cube is no longer just a cube. Now it's a crate. And we've simply added this texture that we've downloaded from the asset store. You can try some other types of materials or textures. Just drag and drop them onto the objects you want to use. Let's see. Okay, floor, great. So we can put a texture on our floor as well. So that works. Maybe we'll make it a little bit smaller. Something like that. Right, so now this is looking a bit better. Let's try some other materials here. Some other textures here. Now it's looking a bit more interesting, a little bit less prototypey. Okay, let's go to the asset store again and see if we can find anything else. So when you open up the asset store, it's going to have some of the featured assets. Some of them are quite useful, and we can talk about these later if you guys are interested. And you can see that we're going to be using Playmaker, that's down here, but we are going to be using a student version, so don't worry about that for now. Let's go to 3D models, see if we can find any interesting characters to use. Let's try this fighter jet. Again, download, accept license agreement. So this one is from Unity Technologies, so Unity made this asset with some editing magic. And let's import this model. Again, same process. Close this. Now you can see that the asset is not in a folder, it's just here. That's okay. We can create a folder here. 16 model, just for now. And it's a little bit messy, so I'm gonna go to the list view and just select these, put them in this folder. Okay, so here we have the plane that we've just imported from the asset store. Same thing, you can drag an asset into the scene directly, or you can drag it into the hierarchy. Let's drag it into the scene. Okay, now we have our airplane. It's a little bit too big, so I'm going to scale it down. Maybe a bit smaller. Actually, that looks good. Okay, now we have a plane, a mini one. So that's the asset store. Feel free to explore and play around with it. There are a lot of interesting tools and assets and different things. You can even download complete projects there as well.